Browns version of All In. We are here for a short but sweet episode. We're going to talk 5 games, stats, history, etc. Give us an intro, cuz. Help us out.
Like, share, subscribe, ring the bell, help us out. Like he just said, help us out.
Help me help you.
Let's get right into it. Shall we start off with a little collegiate ball?
Collegiate ball.
We got championship collegiate ball. We call this the national championship. This is the Catholics versus the Ohio State. This is going to be, I don't know what it's going to be. That line's showing 8.5 for the Catholics, Cuzzy.
There's one thing that comes to my mind when I see this game is everybody already said everybody has already crowned Ohio State the champion. The question is can Notre Dame keep it close? And my gut tells me they can keep it close. I just don't know for how long. And that's the question, right? Because I feel like they're outmatched in almost every position. But I feel like they've got a pretty good run stop. They proved that against Georgia. So if you're going to ask me to take a line here, I'm going to take Notre Dame plus 10. It's going to be my narrative for the show this week. I'm going to take Notre Dame plus 10 in this game. I want to see a competitive national championship on Monday, and I think they can keep it close. What's interesting about this right now, Notre Dame is 7-0 versus AP top 25 teams all time in this matchup. Is that correct?
7-0 Notre Dame is against AP top 25 teams this season. This 7-0, which is tied for the best we've seen in a single season in history without a loss. So
7-0 against the top 25 this season.
Very impressive. And they've shown lately of how well they can play. You mentioned defense. I think try to play keep away, slow it down.
It's funny though because the best loss that Ohio State ever had was to a team like Notre Dame in Michigan.
Right.
So, or I should say, at Michigan at Ohio State. Mm-hmm. I'm saying that team was like someone that they lost to.
That lit a fire.
Similar. What do you think about this game? You're an Ohio State fan.
I believe the line is set perfectly.
Perfectly?
I do. I believe the line is set perfectly. I just don't see. I watched, and the Penn State defense is very, very good.
Talented.
And for those of you who got all upset, I did say that last week, although they lost. I don't know if you guys saw them lose, but they did. But the bottom line is, I cannot picture this Notre Dame offense with this QB moving it down the field on Ohio State. I watched Texas, who has Sark calling plays, and they got all these weapons, and Bond, who they just brought in, and Ewers is the greatest, and this and this and that.
I wasn't sold. I think Texas wins the game if they have Manning playing. No offense.
Yeah, that's fair.
I can't confirm nor deny that. Do I think Manning's better than Ewers? At the end of the day, I do. But like I said, all those prolific offensive players on Texas, and they struggle to score points. Notre Dame, I don't know how they're gonna. I don't know how they're gonna score.
You saw
points
Great House had that big late touchdown against Penn State, kind of opened up on the perimeter.
So you just said you don't know how they're gonna score any points.
I just think they're going to have a lot of trouble scoring points. I seen them struggle to score points against Penn State, and I seen the way in which they did, as you mentioned, broken coverage led to like a 40-yard touchdown.
And Penn State had no catches from their receivers. Big if true, Ohio State probably not going to have that issue.
Someone just told me that Penn State's defense is better than Ohio State's defense.
That is debatable. They did play this season. Ohio State's defense proved to be a little better in that matchup with a goal line stand. But key stat, Ohio State in the playoff, they have 6 touchdowns in their opening 3 possessions in 3 games. So that's 6 touchdowns out of 9 drives to start the game in the playoffs. So if you're looking to play live, it would be Notre Dame to be looking at, because Ohio State, when they've started respectably well in this playoff, obviously they've really...
Which is funny because during the regular season, they played terrible.
Yeah, it was quite the opposite.
I'll take the Ohio State team total 26 and a hook in this game. Team total 26 and a hook. If my theory's true, the way that I see the game playing out, Ohio State's going to be on offense a lot.
Okay.
Yeah.
Weird, because we're on opposite sides, but either one could happen.
And I do respect that Notre
Both
Dame
can
D.
happen.
Yeah, I lean Buckeyes too. Certainly this number is intriguing, but...
I'm seeing everybody hit Ohio State, and the line went down.
Yeah.
It was 9.5.
Yes, correct. It's gone down a little bit.
That's what I'm saying. I'll take 10. It's like minus 120. Yeah. Whatever. All right, on to the next one. We're talking NFL playoffs. We've got the Texans at the Chiefs. The line is 8.5. What do you got here?
I'm going to be taking Nico Collins 5 receptions in this game. I think if the Texans are going to come and they're going to come to play, they're going to get the ball to Nico Collins. It seems like every time the Texans are in need of that big play, with Diggs being out, now Dell being out, they just go to Collins. I'll take Collins 5 catches in this game.
I am going to take the Texans plus 10. This game reminds me of when Deshaun Watson went to KC back in 2019? Is that the date? All I know is they went up 21-0, and then they blew a 21-0 lead. And
we were together that day.
It was freezing.
We flew to Green Bay.
No, that was a different game. This is when the Texans flew to Kansas City.
No, but you and I went to the Green Bay Seahawks game. It was the same day. We actually got on the plane. And
January of 2020. It was 21.
January of 2020.
24-zip Texans, and of course it was a final 51-31 Chiefs.
It was 24-zip?
24-zip. Fairbairn hit a field goal to start the second. And then
45 minutes later, they were down 3, I remember. It was literally
what
that
I can remember
long.
is I remember saying, this game's over. I'm freezing. Let's go get on the plane and fly home.
Yeah.
I called the pilots and said, fire it up.
The Chiefs scored 4 touchdowns in the second quarter, 3 by Kelsey.
I remember. It's like something awoke.
Yeah.
Something inside of them.
Yes.
Woke. This game reminds me of that, but I think I'm going to cover 10. I if you want a little streamer, I think that the Chiefs can get upset here, but that'd be devastating to the NFL and its ratings. I'll tell you that. I think the Texans can upset them. I really do. They've got Joe Mixon. If he could effectively run the ball at 4 yards a clip, and C.J. Stroud can just do his thing like he normally does, he's gonna have to use his legs here, which I'm interested to see how he's gonna do that, because they will need his legs if they're gonna win this game. But 10 should be a cover, and if you're laying minus 470 on the Chiefs, God bless you and your wallet. I mean, I get it. It's free money, right? But nothing's free. Nothing's free.
I like it. Interesting line here. Interesting nugget. In Week 17, the Chiefs were at home against the Texans, and everybody was playing. Chiefs were only laying 3.5, and now it's been bumped up between 8 and 9. So the public, for whatever reason, it's ballooned nearly, not quite a touchdown, but that's still over 4 points. Texans also 0-5 straight up, 1-4 against the number in road playoff games as an underdog.
That doesn't make me feel good when I see that.
But the Chiefs, you can make the weakness. Hunter and Anderson off the edge. Mahomes is going to, obviously, he can create, but
The Texans played convincing,
their
shocking football last weekend.
Really,
yeah.
I
had them pinned to get beat. I really did.
Do you remember when I said,
Herbert.
I go, last time I went against the Texans, they beat that ass?
Yes.
And they did the exact same thing.
They did.
Their defense took over, though.
They took over
It was
and
very
then
similar
played the hammer.
to the Flacco Cleveland game.
Yeah,
a
'cause they
pick
were
six.
up and
Almost
then-
had 2 pick sixes. They had one inside the 10. It was very deja
It was the
vu-ish.
same game.
It was identical.
It was the identical
I
game.
thought about it. This is me watching it. I go, this seems just like the other game.
Down early.
And I'll tell you this: when I was watching it, and the Chargers couldn't lay the hammer down.
Yeah, it should have been 17-0 at least,
I
arguably,
said-
or at least 14-0.
I said, oh boy,
2 field goals.
you're in trouble. 6-0, and it's just you're in trouble.
They stuck at 6-0 for far too long.
They went for it on 3rd and 1 early, went laterally off tackle, lost 2 yards, had to settle for a field goal.
Yep.
Then they got another turnover immediately with a fumble, had to settle for another field goal. It was just, you called it.
I don't know. I should have went with that gut and said I'm going to take the Texans there. That's what I should have done. Anyways, next. Do you have a pick for that? You already gave it. Do you have a pick
Collins,
for that?
5 catches.
I'd like, if you get the Texans plus 10, that's a lot of points.
They're minus 130 for plus 10.
Yeah, that's nothing.
I'm paying 130.
It does seem fun.
Whatever.
Yeah.
Okay.
Jump on the train if you
Next
want.
game, Commanders at the Lions. Vegas giving no respect to the Commanders in this game. A 9.5
Vegas giving no
point
respect
dog.
to either defense either.
Right.
The line is the over-under is 55.5.
Oh my!
It's a ton of points.
That's 30 to 25. I mean, actually, that's more like 32 to 22. Based on what the line is, to equal what the over is. That's crazy. What do you think?
I told.
What do you think, Mr. Lions future?
I said, first of all, I already said before the show, the Lions they're putting 40 on them.
What are you buying the wife if you hit that future bet?
I don't know.
You know what you got her?
What do I
A
get?
house. That's all she needs.
There you
Tell
go.
her to shove it.
That's right. She's got a roof overhead.
Yeah, that's what she needs.
Commanders finally snapped that drought.
Get to work,
Get the
you.
roof.
Never mind. I won't say it on the show.
Commanders snapped that first playoff drought since 2005. Where were you? 2005. White Sox won a World Series. It's crazy. Longest conference title drought appearance for Washington. It's been 33 seasons. If they win, of course, it would be their first NFC title game since 92 when they went against the Lions. It was January of 92.
Washington is 5-0 straight up in its last 5 games. 4-1 straight up in its last 5 on the road. What a stat.
Yes.
And
That's a great one.
And they're plus 9.5.
There.
I mean, I'll tell you this. If they go down early and I can get like plus 15, 16, I don't think I'm going to be able to turn that down. I'm a fish for some points.
I'm going Jamison Williams, 3 catches in this game. And I'm going to tell you what, Marshawn Lattimore, he's going to be all over Amon-Ra. It's going to clear up space for J-Mo. The fact that they have him at 3 catches is outright disrespectful, especially when they're going to put up. I think they're going to put 40 up. I really do.
You really do.
And I love Dan Quinn as a DC.
Do we have a line on that? Can we get a line on that, guys? For that type of let's see here. What's the line for them to score?
55.5.
I want to know, like, maybe Anthony could put a streamer in on something.
He might.
Like this.
I give you a quick stat here too as well.
Props. I got it for you.
6 seeds they've gone 7-22 against 1 seed. So not amazing, but since the expansion since 1990, we have seen 6 seeds upset
Do you want
number
to
1 seeds. Yes.
To go over 39.5 points for the Lions.
What is it?
Is plus 275 only.
Only plus. You're not even. Yeah.
I'm telling you, the Lions are scoring.
Yes. There's some teams that could do
the
that
Lions
in a
just
life.
watched Tampa Bay do their thing, and Tampa Bay's offense isn't the greatest.
Sure.
The Lions are getting
Much
ready
better,
to
and they're
score
getting
40.
Montgomery back. Expected to play in this one. We'll see how much. But obviously, Gibbs is.
I can't even believe he's playing.
Yeah.
I think he should wait one more week.
I would agree with that.
So do
we'll
I.
see. They didn't.
I hope he gets minimal carries in this game, and I hope the Lions cruise for the sake of the future.
Sure.
I'm sorry. We'll get to the next game.
Yeah.
Next game, Rams at Eagles. Guys, let me tell you something in Philly. After what I saw that fan do, I know it's not all of you, but he was talking real negative to that young lady in the crowd. But then I find out that the guy that was the boyfriend who filmed it, who, between you and I, you're a better human than I am. I would have knocked his 2 teeth out. And I
didn't see this. Can you explain what happened a little bit?
The guy called his girl a cunt at the Eagles game.
The Philly guy
was
called
talking down on them both, like
the Packer
disrespecting
person.
him. Well, there's like a couple.
Got
it's like
it.
a husband wife, and he's like, you like talking down, saying the C word, crazy stuff. The guy ends up filming.
Out of line.
The guy's kind of smart though. He pulls out his phone. He says, "All right, big dog, I'm not gonna get kicked out and waste the money I spent to be here." He films him, and the guy's so dumb and out of line. Doesn't see the phone recording him.
He's wrecked.
He caught the guy. The guy works for a company that literally is all about like social justice.
Oh man.
I'm just like,
good representation,
bro. So they found his name, where he works. Everyone's
got
been
him.
notified. The guy's banned from all Eagles games the rest of the season. Maybe I think they took away his season tickets for good.
He's mortadell.
The poor guy. You know what's crazy?
He probably got fired.
Do you want to know
get fired?
I will tell you this though. In Philly, there's either the best fans or the worst fans.
Yes.
There is no in between. When I was there, I had people trying to fight with me, and I was rooting for the Eagles. And I'm like, I'm not here to fight with you, buddy. Like, I'm here to watch the game. Like, But what I will tell you is when Eagles fans are great, there's no better. Because they know sports, they're passionate about it, they're happy to be there. Then there's this toxic group that gives them a bad look. But long story short, the Rams are playing the Eagles. The Rams are +6. I'm going to take it up to 7. I've got the Rams to win the Super Bowl. I got the Ravens to win the Super Bowl. Those are the 2 teams. I gave you that out a couple weeks ago. Those are my 2 teams to kind of take it to the end, 1 from each division. I think the Rams can keep this game close, and I think it's going to come down to one thing. Will they be able to get a stop on defense to win the game? That's going to be it. I think they're going to be up late, and can they get a stop? That's the question. Because I could totally see the narrative, Matt Stafford back at Ford Field playing his team to go to the Super Bowl for LA.
Don't even
playing
get
for
me
the
jacked
people.
up.
Like, I'll tell you this. I'll be at that game. If the Rams go to Detroit, you'll see your cousins there. I'll be wearing my Rams. He'll be wearing his Lions. It'll be
I might have to. I
No,
might have to wear.
no,
I might have to wear wear the Rams Stafford jersey just so it shows, that I'm really there supporting Maddie.
Buddy, I need you to rock your
future.
And I love
the Rams, and I got my Rams hat on, and I got the future going. It's tough. It puts me in a bad spot.
What I will tell you is I severely regret not taking $500,000 and putting it on the Lions, because right now I'd be looking at a sure thing of possibly either winning $3 million or whatever it was. No, $5 million, because it was 10-1, right? You got 10-1. God, that's crazy.
10-1. I bet that in August. I looked. It's August 21st. I bet that bet on. So that was paying 10-1 at right now. I think the Lions are
plus 275 to win it all. Some have
plus 275 to win it all. Yeah. The favorite to win it all. Somehow, some way. But I'm going to be taking the Rams +7 also in this game.
I'm taking the Rams on the money line too, plus 225.
Oh, he's taking the 225.
I am. I feel good about it. I've got a
welcome to the link.
Also, I've got a pending parlay going on. I'll have Edgar get it up on the screen, but it's a 5-teamer with 2 basketball games the other night that I plugged in. But long story short, I have the Texans money line, I've got the Rams money line, and then I have the Ravens, which we'll get into the next game, money line to pay 1.7.
I'll also be taking A.J. Brown 4 catches in that game. And let me tell you something. I look for the Rams to come at Hurts harder than they did on Monday night against Darnold. Let me tell you this. Keep a very close eye. Hurts passing yards for this game, only 200.
I'm going to tell you this right now.
That's scary.
You get Jalen Hurts to 3rd and 7 or longer, and you spy the QB so he can't run, you beat him. That's all you need to do. That's the special sauce.
Right, when they beat the Rams early in the year, that was the game that Barkley ran for over 2 bills.
He did.
255 yards, I think he ran for.
Yes, that's Sunday night. It was a Sunday night game.
You don't see him doing that again.
I'm really excited that he did that to them.
You don't see him doing that again?
No, because I think that's a wake-up call to the defense.
For sure.
I think that's that's not going to happen. We're going to follow our gap assignments. We're going to listen to what we have to listen to. And I think what they're going to do is they're going to sell out and say, if we're losing this game,
Jalen
Hurts' arm. Which scares me, though, because Devontae Smith, I'm terrified of him.
Sure.
When he gets out in the open field, that guy
he's like
strides
Slim
like
Reaper.
A stallion. Yeah, Slim Reaper.
Tell you what, though, that kid Shula is calling Unreal D for the Rams right now.
Sure.
The other night, they dialed up Minnesota exactly how Aaron Glenn did. They took that exact recipe, dialed up the blitz, ran him off the field.
And no pun intended.
They got to do the same thing to Hurts, though. Get him in an uncomfortable, vulnerable position.
So no pun intended, the book is out on how to beat Philadelphia, because A.J. Brown, you saw on the sideline, you're reading that inspirational book.
Which sales increase crazy.
Yes, they said it went way up, but I'd like to think he'll probably catch more than 1 pass. He did have a touchdown in that Rams game back.
That's why I got him catching the ball this week.
He's a red zone machine.
He's going 5 days of practice without opening his mouth and telling somebody to get him the ball.
And you look who scored last week, it was Dotson and Goddard. Those chances of either of those guys probably scoring again in this game may be pretty slim, so... Good call on Brown.
Next game, Ravens at the Bills. If you told me the Ravens were on the road in Buffalo as a favorite, I would tell you were crazy, but somehow they are. But I am on the Ravens here. I like them on the money line. It's like minus 120. All I could tell you is if you want to live bet a game, you might be able to live bet this game 400 times and get plus money on each side.
Sure.
Because if the Ravens go up, it'll be plus 3.5 Bills and plus 170. And then if the Bills tie it, it'll go back to like minus 110 on each side. And then if the Bills go up by 7, you'll be able to get plus 170 on the other side. It'll be like ping pong. It'll be like literally, like you ever watch Asian ping pong at 2 a.m. when you're gambling at night?
Sure.
That's what it'll be. You could literally just bet both sides the whole game and still win. But I'm on the Ravens here. I think they're going to get a win. I think Lamar Jackson is destined to go to the Super Bowl, and I think he's destined to represent the AFC here. I really do. I think it's time. And I gave it out. I gave out the Ravens, and I'm standing behind what I believe in. So go Ravens, and that's how I feel. What do you like here?
I am on the Ravens money line also, and I also have the Ravens representing the AFC as my Super Bowl pick as well. I can't say enough about the Ravens this year. The difference between the Ravens this year and any other year simply is this time of the season, they have Derrick Henry back there. And you've seen what Derrick Henry did in the first game. And let me tell you that the Ravens and Monk as the OC, they know what they're going to do, and they are going to come downhill, and you're going to choose one guy.
The Ravens ran the ball 13 straight plays against the Steelers and scored a touchdown. It was the most disrespectful football I've ever watched in my life.
They will be doing that.
We're going to run it again, just so you know, and they knew, and they couldn't stop it.
And that's the crazy thing is a lot of people have this theory that you're playing Buffalo Bills football in Buffalo. It's cold. They got Allen. The thing is, though, is that this Ravens team is built to win in these winter months. Yeah. That's how I feel about this team.
It is
the Super Bowl's in a dome, so it ain't going to matter. But to get there,
the Ravens,
there's a lot of cold.
Why are the Ravens a favorite? It should just be a picket.
Yeah.
I mean,
or opened up as Bills.
I mean, technically they're saying the Ravens are a 4.5 point better team.
Yeah, some people.
Now, I believe so, and I want your opinion. What? Does this game not only dictate, obviously it dictates the winner, does it dictate the MVP?
No, because the MVP is supposed to be on the regular season.
Yeah.
Okay, I understand it's supposed to be, but the award hasn't come out yet. So when you're placing your ballot, does this game play a factor?
I mean, someone might look at it that way.
Some people are also asking, does the winner of this game win the Super Bowl?
I think, yeah. I mean,
you think so?
I think this side right here of this game is coming out of next week.
Call your early shot. You think
I will stand with Anthony. Whoever wins this game wins the AFC.
And you think they'll both be favored next week at Arrowhead, or maybe Bills would be close to a pick 'em, Ravens by?
I think Bills are favored by 1, and I think the Ravens are a +1.
Okay.
I think Ravens are a +1 against the Chiefs.
That's fair.
And I think the Bills are -1 against the Chiefs.
I love it. Harbaugh, most career playoff road wins in NFL playoff history, 8. 11-4 against the number, 8-7 straight up. So he has been a road warrior. And it is, oddly enough, if you're looking for a way to back the Bills, if you're out there, current line, Bills getting points. First playoff game at home, the Bills would be an underdog since at least 1970 as home dogs, and that was back in the AFL era, so when they didn't really have it. Bills have won 15 of 18 home playoff games, but Harbaugh has just been a road warrior. You mentioned Derrick Henry. It's probably going to be cold at Arrowhead next week as well, so you mentioned...
And again, that backfield at Arrowhead in the following week, if they make it out of this week,
and it was
built to run and win.
And it was a handful of years ago, Lamar Jackson got banged up in the back of the end zone. They lost that game 17-3. In a Buffalo game at home.
Just saw a cool stat. Only 13 times in history have we seen the number 1 seeds match up in a Super Bowl.
Yes.
The last time was Philadelphia over the
Pats.
Over the Pats.
Yes.
I had Philly in that game. That was
Nick Foles.
Big Dick
yes.
Nick
yes.
against Tom. Yeah.
Tom couldn't catch that one pass.
No, that was
Doug Peterson.
Yes.
Oh. Hey, Zay Flowers yet to practice this week. Also keep an eye on that for the Ravens. That's going to be big. And with that being said, I'm on Isaiah Likely over 2 catches in this game. Because Zay's out, I think Likely's going to get some serious volume. You might see some 2 tight end set and a lot of running. And then another thing I told these guys before the show, keep your eye on very, very weird line. Could look trappy. It's Amari Cooper, only 1.5 catches on the natural for this weekend and 21 yards receiving.
Yeah.
Imagine if his 1 catch is 21 yards. It could be a touchdown. Who knows?
I'm giving a parlay. It's going to pay 5-1.
Ooh.
Here it is. Texans +10. Rams +7. Ravens on the money line pays 5-1 on the dot. I like that. I hate that it's not juicy, but there's not enough games to give you the juice. If you want to take a couple of those teams on the money line, it could get juiced up. It could. But you got to decide how ballsy you want to be.
Not as ballsy as you're going to get.
I'm taking both dogs on the money line. I'm taking the Rams on the money line. I'm taking the Texans on the money line. And I think one of them wins. I hope it's the Rams because I obviously have that future. I've got a future on the Rams that pays right now $2.8 million. So I'm just looking for an opportunity.
Be the second time the Rams cashed you out in your career.
That would be.
If they do, yeah.
Yeah, it would be the second time.
I'm trying to build parlays around the Rams. Like I'm putting in I like this basketball team tonight. Let me plug it in with the Rams too. So
Love it.
To keep adding to it, to multiply it.
Yeah.
Like I'm trying to get it to 4 or 5 million. That'd be cool. Yeah. That'd be cool. Yeah.
You would do something crazy if you hit that.
If I hit for 4 million, I might go on OnlyFans and give people a free show.
There you go.
Is that too far?
You ever hear of a guy? You just won $4 million. What are you gonna do? I'm gonna head over to Feet Finders and start my career.
Start my
You won't
own-
need Feet Finder. You'll see me. You'll see my wife. She'll got a finger in there, and it'll make me.
Oh my goodness.
I didn't say anything bad. I just
This guy will blow out a
insinuated.
ceiling tile.
All right, guys, listen. Short but sweet show. I wanted to keep it short for you. We know you got a lot going on. We're going to keep the show going. Guests are coming. We're going to shoot a Super Bowl show. We're trying to figure out with who. It might be Des Bryant. It might be Johnny Manziel. We're going to figure it out. Next show's
It's gonna be fire regardless.
Stay tuned, stay clean, stay healthy, and make sure, hey, wash your hands. It's flu season.